I'm really amazed at the countryside here, and the people are really nice, and it's been a great trip getting to know this side of the country.
Yeah, well, good.
I've been on the West Coast and the East Coast and a little bit in the middle, but never over here in the Wild West.
Well, the biggest focus for us is our nursery and landscaping business, but we like the garden, and we've set the garden up as a community service project, I guess you could say. We feel that there's a real value, and the people can have a choice of being able to buy something that's grown local and support that kind of a deal, and whereas anymore those are hard to find, you know.
Yeah.
And so for a melon grower, we're not a big operator, but for Montana we are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just for what's here in Montana.
Yeah. Do you guys find that folks are looking for local more these days?
Yes. Oh yeah. Looking for local more. Also looking for local more at less. You know, it's a recession. But the people that know us, we have a really good following, and the people that know us are very faithful. And so we have a really good following. But it's like any other business at this time. You know, you have to pay attention to what you're doing. You certainly don't want to generate any serious large mistakes that you don't need to. And
well, and that comes with experience too. You guys have been doing this for a while, so
the weather is always unpredictable. We had a really bad hailstorm last week that could have been really damaging here, but you can see we tent our rows. We're just taking some of those tents off now, and that tent saved us from the hail. It also saves us from the wind. The biggest issue here in the spring is the bad wind. The young melon crops would never take the wind if we didn't tent them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, winds are strong without
we get
with all
1
this
month
flat
of
land.
complete insect-free growing.
1 month.
1 month because of the tent. There's very few bugs that'll get into our melons underneath the tent. A lot of them would come in over the top, and even the tomatoes. See that little flea beetle that gets on the tomatoes so bad. We tent them, and it's not on. It can't get in there, and so now we take the tent off, and those tomato plants are just gorgeous. And we didn't have any bugs, and the plants are just healthy and thriving. One issue we wish we could do without is the plastic mulch. Being sustainable, we don't feel that the plastic mulch is as sustainable as it would be if we didn't have it, you know. But yeah, we would not get our crop. Some years we get a frost the end of August. And if that were the case, without this mulch, we would never be able to get a harvest out of this field. If we got an early frost, that would pay for the crop. So.
Right, because it would basically kill the root system.
Yeah, well, it kills the top, and then the top kills the root system.
Yeah.
The frost gets the top. So we have to have about 7 strong weeks of harvest in order to make our fields pay. And so if we get a frost at the end of August, that brings us down to maybe 4 or 5, and so those last 2 weeks are very critical to us.
So have you guys always farmed this land like this?
Yes. Yeah. Ever since, no, not always. Our first 2 years we did not use the plastic and the tinting. We did it by hand and just hold them. And see, we got guys now doing the handwork around the edges of the rows that we can't do with the machine. Too close with the machine and you just tear your plastic up.
Right. So talk about, are you guys officially organic?
No, we're chemical free.
Chemical free.
Yeah, organic. We have a farmer over there, and we have the railroad back there, and I have 2 irrigation canals over there.
Yeah.
And to make this 2 acres of organic here, I could get this 2 acres organic, but then I would have to, in the next several years, I'd have to make the whole place organic, and I can't do that with those kind of neighbors.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
This guy, this is a wonderful farmer. He's just a great farmer, and he's very good. But he has got everything genetically modified, and he sprays over the top of everything, and that gets into here some. And the railroad it's just whatever they got and however they take care of it, you know.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, it's interesting because the farmer I met this farmer in southern Colorado in the San Luis Valley, and he was talking about how he farmed conventionally for years and years, and his father before him did, and then 5 or 6 years ago he converted to organic. Mm-hmm. And he was just going on about how it's been such a learning process for him.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
Yeah. Trying to get the microorganisms right and all this kind of thing. Is there something similar here you guys have experienced, or how's it been with you guys?
Well, when this had been conventionally farmed when we first started here,
mm-hmm.
and continuously farmed, and so we put in our first crop, got it all clean, put in our first crop. It came up, turned white, and died.
Really?
Yeah, that's how bad the soil was. And it's so to try and get this to support growth without heavy artificial inputs.
Sure.
Like everybody else does. I mean, they get wonderful crops. It just didn't work. So we have our own compost operation, and we have our own green manure. We had this all set up into alfalfa. All these fields got set up into alfalfa for 2 years, and we mowed it. We just let it come up, and we'd mow it, and we'd leave it. We'd let it come up, we mowed it, and we left it. And then in those 2 year times, it created a terrific amount of natural organic matter. And then we plowed that under, and then we green manure with other crops as well as compost into it.